Hi all, Cynthia here, back doing a 12 by 12 layout. Have the cut file here that I received in my August kit from the Wild Hare Kit Club, and I'm just going to trim it down and use it on this layout. Initially when I received it, I visualized water and layering lots of blue paper behind the file and maybe have some sticking out and curled rolled edges. I've just come back from a holiday from the sunny warm weather with lots of swimming, and I thought it would just go perfect with what I had in mind. And then I printed my photos, and when you see the photos in a moment, they are of my husband and our son riding on this train type of thing in a playground. And I thought, well, the cut file goes quite well. Kind of visualised it as train tracks because the train sort of zigzagged around the park. And I decided to use it here. The train that they're sitting on is orange in colour, so I decided to back it with this paper from Pink Fresh Studio, which is from the Case of the Blars collection, as it has orange, which I thought will match it. Now I'm just showing you here that I backed the photos off camera. I actually did it on camera, but I had to delete that section because I realised after I had backed them that the photo there of our son riding it has a random kid on the back, which I probably should black out, cover up their faces, as I have no idea who the child is. Went through my stash and pulled out anything that I think might go. So I pulled out oranges and yellow because I felt like they went well with the photos and the background paper. And I pulled out these tags, which have been in my stash for a little while now. And I decided for some reason or other, monkeys is what's going to work with these photos. Don't know why. Don't know whether it's the colour. I don't think they're particularly monkeying around in the photos. But 3 of them are going to go on this layout. What else do I do? I did have a little bit of chipboard. Yes, the space ones I originally pulled out. None of those make it on the page. And I fiddle around here. Also pulled out the Totally Rad collection from Cocoa Vanilla Studio, as it had some orange in it as well, and I thought I might be able to use a little bit of that. So I go through that now to see what I can use. Pull out a couple of things. The title in this pack is Super Rad, and I really tried to make both of those work, but I just couldn't quite get it to work. Grabbed a little frame there, and I'm going to tuck that under one of the photos as it says captured, and I think that will work quite well. And this tag has something like a boss, and apart from the fact that all I could think of in my mind was layering like a boss, which I knew wasn't quite right for this photo, I decided that I'm going to stamp on that one riding like a boss. And here I start with trying to get the title to work. And actually it could have worked like that. Looking back now, it looks okay. But at the time I felt like it was a little bit too black heavy on the left-hand side. And so I take it off and then I put it back on. I take it off and I put it back on, and I put it this way and I put it that way, and I shift it to here and I shift it to there. And in the end, the super bit just doesn't make it. Pulled out another little round element there down the bottom, which I can't quite remember what it says, and I don't have the layout in front of me. Something for a venture, but I can't quite remember what for an adventure. Great day for an adventure or something like that. Here you go. See, even that looks okay, but at the time I thought it's a little bit too heavy. And what else? Got a couple of these other little tags here. There we go, putting it back. That looks okay, doesn't it? Or doesn't it? It looks a little bit too heavy, doesn't it? Yeah, too black. No, I'm happy with the title, just Rad in the end. Trying to bring a pop of yellow up to the top where the monkey is. I feel like there's yellow from the tag down the bottom, so I just want to bring a little bit up there, and I pull out these epoxy stickers here, and I do actually pull one off which just says a place, I think it has on it, so some random thing. I don't add where the place is to this layout. So the plan on the layout with this layout is in my album I will have a number of layouts all about the same trip that we took. Still deciding how I want these tags to look. I've brought in another little tag there that has the hearts on it. I will do a little bit of journaling on there. So with this particular ride, it was a very popular ride. There was 2 or 3 of these carts on the actual circuit, and each one of them had kids following people around waiting for them to get off, and it was like you literally had to fight for your spot. A couple of times Eddie was next in line, but when someone else jumped off, these other kids all piled on before he could get on. So in the end, hubby had to go and line up as well, and when these kids got off, these other kids went to jump on, and hubby ended up saying, sorry, our turn. Yes, it was pretty much, get their elbows out and push your way in, otherwise you were not going to get a turn. So once they got the turn, Charlie did 1 lap with him, and that exhausted him, so he jumped off, and Eddie was on the front, then this other random kid jumped on the back as well. So I think this is looking pretty good. I decide whether or not I just want to have 1 tag, and I had a bit of a look and just no, the 2 tags work best. So I cut away in a moment and I tape it all down. Just decide I will cut this little circle in half and bring a little bit of that element down the bottom as well. And there you go. I start to tape everything down. I don't think I make you watch me do all that. No, here we go, all done. The journaling's down. I just spoke about how they had to fight for their right to ride this little train thing, and I certainly don't stamp like a boss here, that's for sure. The first 2 letters start off really good, and then it goes downhill big time from there. Which is fine. I just leave it as it is. I and ah about trying to swap it out or cover it up, but I just go with the flow. So these little stamps I got in one of the kits a couple of months ago, and I've used them a few times, but there's a couple of letters in there I hadn't used, so I had to fight to get them out, and I pulled the bottom off, and you can see around about here it starts to go south, literally. For some reason or other it drops off the bottom. Once I finish stamping this out, I stick that down in its spot, and I'm happy with that. Well, happy as you could be, considering it is not the greatest stamping, but as I said, go with the flow. And I think it's pretty much done. So thank you very much for sticking with me this far. Please leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, love it if you would subscribe. I'm around about 20 subscribers short of 500 subscribers, and when I reach that mark I will certainly be doing another giveaway. Until next time, everyone, have a lovely day, a lovely week, or a lovely month. Stay tuned for the close-up photos, and I will talk to you on the next video. Talk to you then. Bye.